Okay, friends, it is Wednesday evening. I have been home from my day job for a couple of hours, and I don't know if I mentioned this already, but I have a stained glass class this weekend. Actually, I have 2 of them back-to-back classes. And I know for a fact that I take 2 grinders with me to a class, and I know for a fact that one of the grinders, the grinder wheel, is very, very dull. So I have a new wheel in here. I got to figure out which grinder it is, and then we're gonna switch out that grinder wheel because it needs to happen. So yeah, that's the task at hand. So first, I gotta pull my soldering irons out. Pile those on the table here. Stands. Everything fits tediously in this box, so the grinders go in first and then everything else gets piled around them. Is it this one? Oh. Try to figure out which one it is. Actually, they might both be okay and just need to be moved, reoriented. So I'm gonna pull both of them out. Put my box off to the side here. Okay. Yeah, this one is, it's got grinder stuff up here, but down at the very base where people hold the glass when it's sitting is really, really dull. So I'm gonna move this one down. I gotta go get my tool. Let's see if this is the right one. Nope, need the smaller one. Okay, I see the problem here. This one is actually missing the little screw piece that tightens the grinder bit. So it's literally on here because it's rusted. So we gotta fix that. Unfortunately, this is a pretty common issue with grinders. I've got a little bit of liquid wrench, which I'm gonna spray. Everybody saw that, right? I don't know where it landed, but I know it's right over here. I just don't know where it went. And we're gonna bang it down a little till it's loose. I realize this seems seems like the opposite that you want to do, but you have to break it loose before you can pull it back off. So all right, it is moving, not well. You know, I was gonna pull it completely off and switch it out for a new one, but it's on there so tightly that I actually, now that it's banged down to where the grit is again, I think I'm gonna leave it like that, at least through this set of classes. If it happens to loosen itself up enough that it flies off when it's running, that's okay. I have a spare one in my box and I'll just change it then. But there's like all this bit that has grit on it. It's perfectly useful. So I hate to pull it out and throw it away if I don't absolutely have to. So I think that's what we're gonna do. What a mess. All right, so be that as it may, put this little guy back in the box. I already adjusted this one. Oh, and irons. And I will pack up my iron that I use every day before the weekend. But that's that task done. The other task that I want to get done tonight is I want to load the kiln. I fused some medium trinket dishes last night, and some small trinket dishes, and so now I want to slump them into their dish form tonight. So I'm going to load the kiln for that so that that can get going, and then I'll see what other little tasks need to get accomplished to this evening. It's kind of a low-key week. My next actual market is 4 weeks away, right? 3.5 weeks away. So even though I do need to restock a bunch of inventory, I'm working on that. It's just a process. And I do have time. I have the time to do it. So I may cut some glass here in just a little bit, but I definitely want to get the kiln loaded so that that can get going. And then we'll see what else I get to this evening. It is already 8:30. I came home and made dinner, and then I visited with my good friend Karen for a little while. So I burned a lot of the evening today. I intended to work in the studio all night, and that's obviously just not going to happen because there were other things that needed done. So, and frankly, for that matter, I have like 4 loads of laundry that I need to fold. So that might happen instead of studio work at this point. But I am going to get the kiln loaded, so let's do that. First step is placing the kiln furniture. The furniture is what the molds sit on and helps keep the mold from touching the bottom of the kiln. It can sometimes, but it's better if you can raise it. These are my small dishes, the molds for the small dishes. This is a medium mold. You also have to make sure you get it centered so that it doesn't wobble. I just like to feel them, make sure they're good. That one feels a little off. Okay, good. So my trinket dishes are a 2-part process. First, you fire them once flat to make the design, and then they have to be fired a second time at a lower heat but a much longer time to take on the shape of the dish that you want them to be. The actual fire time for the slump is about 9.5 hours. And then it takes another 6 to 8 hours to cool fully. That's called annealing, And I never open my kiln before my temperature is down to room temperature, because if it's not given the full anneal time, then eventually your glass will just break for no apparent reason. It might not break right away, but it will eventually. It will just break. If it doesn't fully anneal correctly, then it is not structurally sound. So now these are in here and they're ready, and I will start the firing. Along with the rainbow hearts, I'm also going to make a bunch of rainbow pendants. These are fused glass. So the kiln is loaded up with a bunch. Probably going to put a few more in here, and that will fire tonight.